Good evening, I'm Greg Floyd.
And I'm Dory Marlin. It's something that nearly all of us have in our wallets, but it could become a real pain.
One county clerk says New York will have to reissue driver's licenses by 2016. That's his claim. Brandon Lewis joins us live in studio to explain why. Brandon.
Well, Greg, this is part of the federal Real ID Act. Nearly a decade ago, it was passed to set new security standards for driver's licenses. While the new design meets the guidelines, one clerk says the way they're issued doesn't.
Last year, New York unveiled what the DMV called its most secure license ever at a cost of $34 million. The goal was to combat counterfeiting, but Rensselaer County Clerk Frank Merola says the state didn't address how easy it is to get legally.
Document is perfect. It's not the document, it's the process to get to the document. We never look for identification, proof of address for any individuals. We don't update photos. Those are all things that are required. You can't do it through the mail. You got to do it in person.
In 2005, Congress passed the Real ID Act, which sets minimum security standards to produce and issue licenses. It means we'd all have to get new ones at some point. Without a license that meets the criteria, you'd need a passport or military ID at airports or to enter some federal buildings starting in 2016.
The license I have in my pocket doesn't meet the qualifications.
Doesn't meet the qualifications. If you go to get in Albany Airport and you want to get on a plane after 2016, you will not be able to board an airplane with that driver's license.
The Department of Homeland Security, which is implementing the act, tells us, quote, most states and territories are either fully compliant with the Real ID standards or have made enough progress to qualify for an extension. We are also working with other states to help them qualify for an extension, unquote. The DMV did not return our phone call this evening on where the extension process stands for New York. Merola says so far the state hasn't even applied.
What's preventing us from getting to that next step then?
That's a good question. I don't know if it's election time and we're just holding off to do it, but it's really coming down to the end and they've got to make a decision.
Now, some drivers may have the enhanced driver's license that allows travel to Canada and Mexico. Merola says those still don't meet the Real ID standards, and everyone would eventually need to come in with residency proof and get a new license picture. Live in studio, Brandon Lewis, CBS 6 News.